CTT module is important to learn because our FDA needs this module. Everything comes in this 5 module. Yesterday we were trying to learn little bit about module 1, and now we can go to switch module 3. Before we go to switch module 3, I just want to share little more information about module 1. In module 1, if we talk about these sections, we have everything that you have to realize what you want to do. For example, your company decides to withdraw a letter like 1.5.1, withdrawal of IND, investigational new drug. Your company is investigating a new drug and it decides because of budget or whatever the reason, it decides to withdraw IND. Yes, you can write a letter to FDA and say that, cover letter, that because of so and so reason, we are not interested to continue our IND work and we are withdrawing. And there the application status goes in this way. So you have to pick what your company want to do from here. Withdrawal of drug listing. If your company decides to withdraw a list of drugs from the market, yes, you can go this one. And these are the table of content. If you go down, you have a lot of information where you have to read, understand, and interpret. Let me go all the way down. What is there? Like for example, let's see your company. Here is the more information. What application form goes in? For example, let's go to our change of sponsor. Not change of. Whatever the section has to go through, it has to go through from here, guys. What section? What is the number of the section? What is the title? Like withdrawal of IND is this one. Let's go to this one. Okay. Do you see this one now, all of you? 312.3.8 is CFR. What is CFR? Code of Federal Regulations. CFR, like everything there is a code, like what do you want to do? 312.38 withdrawal of IND under module 1, and the number is 1.5.1, and you have to withdraw a letter with so and so IND number, so and so product number. We are the company, we are saying we are withdrawing. Suppose another one, if you go little down on this one, 312.47 PSDFA agreement. Suppose if you want to make a meeting request to FDA, you have to go this way. So everything is written here. All you have to do is keep this module in front of you and try to understand what exactly your company want you to do, or what is your manager want you to do. Everything is written. What is the CFR? What is the title you are looking for? And what section it goes to, and what module it goes to. These are all module 1, guys. Whatever, you can pick up anything. Like this section, annual report, list of preclinical studies, summary of non-clinical report has to be submitted here. So in this way, this thing will help you. Mapping section, IND mapping section will help you what exactly your company is planning to do and what is the code of federal regulations for it. What is CFR for it, right? Code, reason, title, module, section number. This is your section number and what exactly it is. Summary of microbial changes or anything. So this helps you a lot. One more thing. Okay. One more thing. There is another portal, web portal, which is called as Structure Product Labeling Resources. Basically, if you want to share your information with FDA, the FDA has developed a portal where you can exchange the product information as well as the facility information. Like for example, My manufacturing unit is in Toronto, Canada. My manufacturing unit is in Toronto, Canada, and my lab testing is in California. So when I update FDA, I think no, let's talk about the within US countries. So my manufacturing unit is in California, and my lab testing microbial laboratory is in Nevada, like next state, or Washington or Seattle. So when I update FDA, I will write which product, where is the manufacturing unit, what are the labs associated with it, and who is the person point of contact for that unit. Like for the manufacturing person, quality assurance people, this is the number and this is the name. Everything before I make any submission, this is the best way I can update all the manufacturing units to FDA. I can update who is the point of contact, and I can update what are the products. In that way, FDA within a second, it will know where this product is coming from. If there is a problem, they know exactly this product Tylenol is coming from California, it is tested in Nevada, and so on. So SPL, sometimes you get jobs, sometimes they may ask you like, what is SPL, what do you guys do? If you have more information you want to go through, SPL, structure product labeling, you can read little bit more information. You have guidelines here, and I'm not sure whether they have videos or not. SPL terminology, you have SPL different things. Just Google it, like SPL as per FDA means, it will come up. It will pop up. If there are any questions, please. Okay. Let's go to our module 3. Let us go to our triangle back. So here we are. Module 1 we are done. So many things you will learn on the job, guys. This is just help, like little help. They won't ask you much questions on job interview about module 1. So don't worry. If they may ask you like, what is the application form number? 356H is the application form number. Again, it depends. They won't ask you federal code, CFRs in your interview. So let's not too much worry about you have to memorize. No, nothing. You can keep this paper right in front of you if you want to talk to anyone or in the job as well. They don't mind. Go for quality. Quality is an important section. Most of the job interview questions comes from quality. You can be placed, if you learn module 3, that's good. Tomorrow you can start looking for a job. Module 1, maybe little bit information about labeling, SPL, that's okay. Module 2 is the summary. No one will ask you any question about module 2 because module 2 is nothing but the summary. If you see the purple color very carefully, quality overall summary, non-clinical overview, it's a separate team who will provide you the information. Clinical overview, clinical summary, they are the one who will provide you the information. Quality. So this is important. Most of the interviews what I have given is in the module 3 they will ask. If they have to go like a core information, still they'll move around only in module 3. No interviewer has asked me about non-clinical studies so far, but as a regulatory profession, you should know what is in and out of non-clinical studies. Maybe after going senior level, you will learn a lot, but at this time, at this stage, you should know at least what is there. Module 5, as we talked, it is human studies. Let's go to module 3. Okay. Module 3. Module 3, if you see carefully, it's a body of the data, it's a core information, chemical information which is embedded in it. If I see there is called as drug substance, and the symbol is S. S stands for substance, so drug substance. Module 3 is divided into 2 sections. Drug sections, drug substance, drug product. Drug substance and drug product. Your drug substance supplier can be from Taiwan, India, Japan, or any European country. Like for example, my supplier in my previous company was from Taiwan. They used to supply drug substance to us. And currently my manufacturing drug substance supplier is in Netherlands, a different country. So your supplier, drug substance supplier, can be from other country or within USA. Drug substance, another name is your API, active product ingredient. Active product ingredient. Yes, API. It's important. Question. Suppose, imagine our manufacturing drug supplier is in Toronto, Canada. Our manufacturing drug substance supplier or API supplier or active ingredient supplier. Anything is okay to call. You can say drug substance supplier. You can say drug API supplier, active product ingredient, active product ingredient supplier, or you can also say active ingredient supplier. Anything, that's okay with me. Suppose our supplier is in Toronto, Canada. He supplies drug substance to us. He ships it basically or by truck or doesn't matter. Maybe he will supply in a container, right? A plastic container or a plastic drum or a steel drum or anything. He can supply that drug in any way. We need that information from him. So Toronto, what it does is it supplies the information to us and to get how did he manufacture the drug substance, what kind of quality control test he did on his drug substance, what are the impurities in the drug substance, how he is sending the drug substance like a container closure. All this information he has to provide to us. Who does this information? Quality control people, they do testing. Quality assurance people will sign off. If they see everything is okay, then they will sign off. All this information Toronto, Canada has to supply who is our drug substance supplier. Okay. They may provide you different documents like batch record. They may supply batch like what batch they have created, batch record. They say batch 1 hai, batch 2 hai, it can be batch 3. Or they can supply you information as certificate of analysis, COA. They will provide you validation. So all these things they will put together. They will give a 500 to 1000 page document to you. They'll give you 500 to 1000 page document to you. If you open the DMF called as Drug Master File, Drug Master File, DMF. I think everyone, I told you to just go through that regulatory one interview questions. It has a lot of terminology. This is what I'm using right now. DMF, Drug Master File, is the document which is like 500 to 1000 page document. If you open the document, you will see all the sections there. Every section is populated. They have information for specification. They have information for analytical procedures. Every information. Let's go to first section. Let's go to first. For example, 32S 1.1 under general information. Section is 32S 1.1 nomenclature. What is the name of your drug substance, like nomenclature? I think people who have learned 11th or 12th grade chemistry, if you remember a little bit about nomenclature, naming of that molecule, naming of that structure, this is what it is named. For example, 2,3-dimethyl propane, like it's a nomenclature name, or 1,1,2,2 ethane propane. So all these names it has to come. Second comes is your structure. Okay, question. How many pages is this document? It's just a one page. It's a one page. You have a company template. Company template. Put this information name like drug substance name, nomenclature, 1,1,2,2 tetrachloroethane. That's it. Your answer is over. Your section is over. One page, done. Let's go to the second section. But where are you getting this information? You are copying from DMF. Remember, you are copying this information from DMF. You are not creating anything from yourself. See, we are people, middleman people. We don't create information from our side. Whatever the information is provided to us to you by DMF, you just copy and paste. Third section is your 32S 1.1 general properties. Just copy the general properties from the DMF and paste it here. Question. Suppose brother Sayyid don't know like how this section looks like, or brother Ahmad don't know how this section looks like. No worries. Since you will have access to the database, go to a different product, like for example, different product like Tylenol or other products, open the drug substance section, see that example, how they have done that example, do your example. Like then it will make easy for you. You have a correct example in front of you. You have DMF in front of you. Copy the DMF information, paste it in the drug substance section, and you can check the example. So this is easy. Copy paste. Question. If the DMF is provided from Taiwan or Germany or from India or from Pakistan, their English is different. Our English is different. So sometimes you have to put it in a proper way, put it in an American way, or put it in a proper grammatical way. And to be consistent, sometimes they are not consistent. Put it in a proper way. That's important. But because we are end of the day, your quality of the document should be very good. But because you are submitting to FDA. Then goes to this another section 32S2 manufacturer. So now we know our manufacturer is in Toronto, Canada. What is his name, company name? What is the address in Toronto? Who is the point of contact in Toronto, Canada? What is his phone number? What is his email address? Here the information goes, who is the manufacturer. So like this, if you keep going one by one, you'll start filling this section. Question. If is the only, is your manager is going to ask you to do all these sections? I will say no. Most of these sections are shared between you, the other regulatory person, or your manager, or your other colleague. Second thing, if brother Ahmed does this section 1, if your manager or director will review to have a second pair of eyes, make sure you don't do mistakes. We are humans. We do sometimes make mistakes while typing, while copying, or not a proper format, everything. Like it's important. If you do the work, I will check it. If I do the work, you check it. Sometimes my director gave me a document. Ahmed, can you review this for me? Can you check this for me? Yes, I used to check. Sometimes there used to be mistakes even by her as a director. After having 20 years of experience, still we make mistakes. So that's what we do here. When we go to the third one, control of material. So basically every information is provided to you guys. You're not creating any information. They will be providing. And how to create this section, if you don't know, see one example. It's already there in the company portal. Characteristics or structure, elucidation of structure and other characters. This is also information, one page section. It's easy. You can do it. Impurities, 32S. So even this information is also provided. What are the impurities in the drug substance? They will give you, and how much should be the limit for each impurity, that will also be provided. For this one, there are guidelines on drug substances for impurities. Guidelines on impurities. Let's type. For example, I'm doing this one. Elemental impurities I'm doing. For example, Q3D. Elemental impurities. Or just type ICH guidelines for elemental impurities, or elemental impurities USP if you are doing for USP. It will tell you what is the limit and so on, what are the impurities. So these are the elements. If your drug has all these elements, It should not be more than 5 grams per day. It will tell you it's a charge, so don't worry. All this information is provided to you. Let's go to specification section, 3 to S4.1 section. Every drug has a specification section. For example, I can show you one example here. In Google, if you type, let's see, not this one, guys. No, somewhere I copy. Please excuse me, guys, my system. Oh no, not this one. Okay, this one. I hope all of you can see the screen. Let me, if I can enlarge this one. Okay. Do you see the specification and test results here? Specification. For example, what tests were performed, like appearance, what is white powder. Usually your drug substance is visual, like if it is white powder or not, this is what it is and what is the range and what is your answer. ID, identification test stands for ID. IR peaks and other peaks were observed. What method, IR method was observed, and this is the code number 197K, and what is the value. Chiral purity, not less than 99%, and chiral for HPLC method you used. Assay method, your assay should be 95.0 to 100.0% W by W. So when I was doing this section, my director was typing, and when I typed, there were more chances that we used to end up in doing mistakes, like minute mistakes, like instead by typo mistakes, if you write 0.01 or 0.0 instead of 100.0, if I write 100.02, it is a mistake. Instead of writing 95.0, so if for small minute mistakes, for example, impurities not more than 0.5. Total impurity should be not more than 2%. So while typing or while copying from DMF, there are more chances that typo mistakes are possible. So this is what we do, what test has to be performed on your drug substance. Who decides this one? Any questions, guys? I'm just keep going on and on. Any questions from anyone? Brother Ahmed or anyone? Hadi, brother Hadi. No questions? You can type if you want. We can just discuss again. Usually these tests, whatever the test and acceptable criteria, what is the acceptable criteria is decided by USP method. USP. What is USP? United States Pharmacopoeia. Thank you. That's good. Thank you, Ahmed. So, for example, now, who tells you to perform all these tests? Like every drug is different, right? What drug is different, other drug is different. Who tells us to do all these tests? Who tells us to do appearance tests? Who tells us to do what are the residual tests? Who tells us to do related substances tests? Since the drug is coming to USA, United States of America, it is decided by USP method. If it is going to Britain, British Pharmacopoeia will decide what test has to be performed on drug substance. If it is going to Europe, Europe Pharmacopoeia, for example, if you go and type European Pharmacopoeia, I think these sites are not free, guys. You have to pay. European Pharmacopoeia, on European Pharmacopoeia. Okay, reference standard. Okay, European Pharmacopoeia is a web portal, 9th edition. Okay, your company will buy access for it. It has username and password. There is a web page. Okay. Let's talk about US one. For example, type any one drug. Let's see if we can find the drug here. Anyone can type any drug. Let's see. All the drugs, maybe you have noticed or not, any drug which is manufactured in USA or coming to USA, they have to follow USP method. Like for example, I'm doing lidocaine, LIDOCAINE, lidocaine. Let's see. US, no. So this is the web portal. You see, you have to buy it. For example, lidocaine is your ointment, and we want to check what test they do on this lidocaine. For example, it's an ointment. Let's go for USP monograph. It is called as monograph. It's an ointment. Now, if you see this lidocaine ointment, what is the definition of this ointment? What identification test, how it has to be performed? It is saying very clearly, your lidocaine has to go through infrared absorption, which is 197K is the code, and acceptable criteria, very clearly they will tell you the crystalline preparation precipitate so obtained meets the requirement. This is the acceptable criteria. Second one, your procedure, what procedure you have to follow for essay. They will tell you what procedure you have to follow to do this test. And they will give you another example I want to show you. Performance test. Minimum fill should be this one, meets the requirement. It has to be filled minimum. When you are filling the drug substance, they will also make sure that it is properly filled up to the mark. You cannot say you cannot cheat with the drug. You just give little drug less, 5 gram, 1 gram, 2 gram. You cannot do that. So USP reference standard has to be followed. Give me another drug, guys. Or let me go back and try to see another monograph. Lidocaine monograph, the first one. Okay, someone typed in. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Thank you, brother Ahmed. So this is another example. Is the structure. It's the name of the drug. And what identification test you have to do. Assay procedure. You have to do assay test, analysis, or impurities. See, very clearly, impurities. Inorganic impurities. It will tell you not more than 0.1. NMT means not more than 0.1. Chlorides and sulfides, what is the limit? 0. And not more than 0.1. It will tell you very clearly. Heavy metals, for example, heavy metal test, acceptable criteria is 20 ppm. Whatever the drug, okay, even now also in your house, pick up any drug, go to any store, pick up any tube, pick up any stuff. It should have USP, like lidocaine USP, means it's manufactured as per USP, United States Pharmacopeia. So this is an agency which provides you the monograph for each and every drug, and it will tell you what drug test has to be performed. Let's see one more example here. In USA, they should follow USP. They can follow by any pharmacopoeia. No, they cannot follow any pharmacopoeia. If it is a US drug, it has to follow USP method. I cannot supply EP monograph drugs or Indian monograph drugs or Pakistani monograph drugs here. It has to follow USP method. That's what the standard is. Every country standard. Let's type Brother Ahmed's drug here and see. Okay. Oh, What did I type? Okay, let's see. So USP monograph, this is important. So if you are working on specification, if your director tells you or your manager tells you like you are working on sevofluran, then the best thing is like try to get a USP monograph for it. It is helpful. Why? Because it will tell you what is the structure, what is the name, what is the name of that structure, and it will tell you what is the identification test they have to perform, and if they perform the assay, in what is the limit for that assay of your drug substance, each and everything they'll tell you. Suppose example of impurities, limit of fluorides, buffered solution, solution A, and this is the method they do though. They also sometimes the methods they provide, like acceptable criteria is NMT 2 microgram per ml is found. That's the acceptable criteria. And the acceptable criteria for non-volatile residue should not exceed 1 milligram. So, and organic impurities, very clearly it will tell you these are the things. So USP monograph will tell you what test has to be performed on your drug substance. Let's go back to our section, drug substance. Yes, this is our section. You can keep this paper in front of you at the time of interview, at the time when you are working with these sections. So no problem, no harm in it. And you can also Google it, 3-2F section, how it looks like. Batch analysis. Analytical procedure, what procedures you follow to do these tests for drug substances. What is the batch analysis? Like, what is the batch? How many batch? What are the batch numbers? Every batch has a number. Like today we developed a batch like batch one. I think brother, uh, what is his name? So guys, sometimes if I'm going wrong, please don't hesitate to correct me. Why? Because I know brother Sajid is a pharmaceutical person who worked in Saudi Arabia for 10 years, or maybe some other person can be bigger than me, guys. I mean, like knowledge wise, there is no harm in sharing if you know more about it. In that two-way, to and fro, it's helpful to everyone. Maybe if you know more about these sections, maybe if you know more about analytical procedures, please don't hesitate to talk. That's fine with me. The last sections are stability sections. Like for example, as I told you, like Sajid worked in a pharma industry for 10 years as a formulation scientist. So he knows how before we coming to these drug substances, we do formulations and so on. This section, reference standard. What is reference standard? Like whatever the references you are using for these drug substances, articles or journals, all this comes here. Container closure. What is container closure? For example, since our manufacturing unit is in Toronto, Canada or California, if they are providing us, even they have to follow the USP method if they are making any drug or drug substance. They may provide you the container closure can be a drum. They can put the white powder in a plastic one, and what is the diagram of the drug, what is the measurement of the drum or the bag, what it is made up of, does it has any impurities, all that information, all that picture wise they have to provide you, so that you can provide to FDA. In the stability section too, post approval stabilities or stability data, basically or stability summary, you will provide your drug substance, how far it is stable. It is stable in minus degrees, like for Canada, people of Canada, they may test the drug is good for 25 degrees centigrade or minus 25 or minus 10 degrees centigrade, our drug substance is good. And if it goes to US, maybe if it is going to hot place, 45 degrees centigrade or also at that temperature our drug is good, there is no problem. So they try to test the drug for okay, how the testing is done. For example, all of you go to Walmart or any store to get milk. it has an expiry date on it. It has a shelf life on it, like 5 days or 7 days. Sometimes we have observed the milk is also good next day. Though the expiry date has over, it is good for next day. How they do that? Similarly, I'm writing on a drug substance that it is good for 2 years. If it is good for 1 year, if it is good for 6 months, that means I am keeping the drug at three different temperatures and observing from 0 month, day one when I manufactured. After 1 month, I am testing it whether my drug is good by doing quality control test. After second month, again I am doing the test. On the third month, 5 months or 4, 5, and 6. Sometimes they do alternate guys. Sometimes 3 months, then they start testing on 6 months, then they go for 9 months, 12 months, 15 months, like that they do 12 months, 15, and sometimes they do on 18 months, sometimes they do on 24 months. Like this, they establish that our drug is good for 24 months. Our drug is good for, so they take out the small sample of the drug, they keep it in stability chamber, leave it, and they will take three samples at three different temperatures: low temperature, medium, and high temperature. For USA, they want 25 degrees, 35 degrees, and 45 degrees centigrade. Just the API, we are talking about just the API, we're not talking about the product. So your drug substance, I'm sorry, drug substance, my mistake. So your drug substance, this is how they test it at different temperatures, different months. They check that your stability is good, there is no problem with the drug substance, then they say that your drug. So all this information, we don't have to worry. I'm telling you again, this information is provided to you. Whatever the drug substance, every information is provided. When you are specially working with this section, be careful. Like for example, these sections you have to be very careful, like impurity sections, what impurities goes in. The second important section to me is specification, what specification your drug substance has. They'll provide you COA, certificate of analysis. They will provide you COA, company will provide you COA. Google it, what is COA? Certificate of analysis, or under validation of analytical procedures. Every test has to be validated. Every product has to be validated. Every drug substance. Excuse me if I'm saying product. Every drug, since everything is S and S, talking about only S. If I highlight all this, like these are drug substance, and so on and on. This is regarding drug substance section. Questions? Yes, please. You are right. This is for drug substance, not the drug product. Does these tests of stability for the drug substance take place at the drug substance provider side or at the drug product side? No, we do they do at drug substance side. They do all those tests. When it comes to drug product, then we have a separate stability chamber. When we do the stability, that's another criteria. But as a provider, that's his job to do that job. For example, if our supplier is in India from Delhi, if he is supplying our drug substance, the way they write English is different. The way sometimes they phrase the sentences is different. The way we submit to FDA is different, right? Though they follow the US standards, I fully agree to that. But still, sometimes you have to be careful. One question came to me in the interview, like what if your drug supplier is from Germany and he gave you a document in German language? What you gonna do that? What will you do with that? So the question was very straight. So your drug supplier is from Germany and he gave you a validation report in German language. What will you do that? What will you do with that? So one example I gave him, last time it happened that from China, they supplied a certificate of analysis or batch record to me in Chinese language. So two things can happen. Whether you can take the help of a person who knows German or English in your regulatory affairs team, in your group, if someone can help you to translate while submitting to FDA, Put the German copy along with English translation. That is acceptable. Or you can ask, suppose validation report is what, 10 pages, 15 pages, or whoever is the provider in Germany, request them if they can give a summary of this German translation in English. Sometimes either both way it helps. Either they should do it or we should do it. Third scenario. Third scenario. Currently, my manufacturing unit where I'm working right now, my manager told me last week, Ahmed, our manufacturer supplier is in France. He gave the document in French language. So we are hiring a third party translator to convert French document to English translating copy. So she gave me that work. So she told me to contact different vendors who can translate your French copy to English copy. In that way, we can submit to FDA. So these are the three different ways you can do homework to translate if the documents are coming from a different country. It can be either your company person can do it, or the supplier can do it, or you have to hire a third party who does this job for you. So this is how we play around with different documents, and one of the interview question was there. Again, suppose brother Sajid go to Europe. If you try to buy a lidocaine ointment, so what will be written on his tube? EP, lidocaine EP, 5%. So that means it has been manufactured as per European pharmacopoeia, European monograph. Suppose if he goes and goes to Japan and take the drug product from the shelf, he will see JP, Japan Pharmacopoeia. If it goes to Britain, it goes to Britain Pharmacopoeia. Whereas Health Canada, they do accept US Pharmacopoeia. I'm not sure they have their own pharmacopoeia or not. Maybe people from Canada, they have to look into that. Like when they buy any tube, what it is written on it. Is it like CA written on it, or USP or EP? They import drugs from outside. Maybe tomorrow, people from Canada, they can answer. Even other people, they can also do research. There is no harm learning about Health Canada. Questions, guys, about this drug substance? Or another company. If you can join a company where your company is drug substance supplier, your company can be a drug substance supplier if you end up in that company. For example, in California, there is a company in ALMPG is a company in California, in Rancho Cordova. They are the drug substance suppliers. So if you end up in a company where they only do drug substance supplier, most of the time you will come across these drug substance sections. And most of the time they ask you to work on DMF. That's it. That you don't have to touch drug product. You will be most of the time working on container closure. You will be working on specification. You'll be working on all these tests. You don't go for product. Any questions, guys, before we think of talking about drug product? And in drug stability sections, always make sure every lot has a batch number, like a stability data, batch number, what test they have done on that stability. So suppose if they are checking that sample, they'll make sure what is the stability, at what temperature they are pulling that lot, and what test has been performed, water test, stability test, impurity test. So whatever we did on specification, most of the time we do all the tests on drug substance as well. Any questions, guys? Till far we are good. If you don't know anything, just open the DMF, copy from there. No questions. So you want to take a break, 5 minute break, 10 minute break, then come back, or we are good? Question came in. Is module 3 the same as CMC? CMC and module 3 are the same, guys. Thank you for asking this question. Sometimes, most of the time, you guys get confused. What is CMC? CMC stands for Chemical Manufacturing Control. CMC stands for Chemical Manufacturing Control. That is your module C sections, module 3 sections. Module 3 section, that's it. Chemical Manufacturing Control. What are CMC sections? Module 3 sections are called as CMC sections. Thank you, Ahmed, for bringing that question. So sometimes I forget.
So, Brother
In the
Moise,
interview, will they ask more questions? No, on this drug substance? No. They don't ask much questions. Yes.
yes, Brother Moise, whenever you feel comfortable, we can take a break, a quick break, and then we can resume. So please feel free to let us know when you think we can take a break.
Yeah, we can take a break now of like 10 minutes if it is okay with other guys. Right now it is like 9:55. How about shall we get back at like 10:05? 10 minutes break.
Sure, that will work.
If there is another
Right.
question, we follow the lead.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Yeah, that's very good. So, all right, everybody, we'll take a quick break. Stretch yourself, have a cup of coffee or something, and then please come back at 10:05, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Brother Moise. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Brother Moise. So we should be starting our session very soon, inshallah. Just a minute or two more.
Assalamu alaikum. So everyone is back. Can all of you hear me?
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Moise.
Yes.
Yes, so in the chat, we've pasted the link for yesterday's class recording. So if anybody wants to revisit yesterday's class, they can do that. And also there's a WhatsApp chat group link as well. So please feel free to join in the WhatsApp group. And inshallah, Brother Moise will start now the session, inshallah.
Okay, thank you, Jazakallah.
You're welcome.
So let's, if all of you are here, so now we finished just not drug substance sections. A question: what if we decide to change our drug substance supplier? Instead of Toronto, we are planning to go for Netherlands. Let's talk about we are trying to change the supplier. Do we need to inform to FDA? Yes, of course. We need to inform to FDA that we are changing the supplier. Second question: how soon we need to inform the FDA? Like you just call them over the phone and tell them, hey, I'm changing the supplier from because that guy is giving a cheaper rate for me. I'm going for Netherlands or India. No, you have to apply. You have to apply PAS, pre-approval change, or PAS. The call as PAS, pre-approval change. That means before. Why? Because drug substance is a very important component of your drug. Excuse me. So drug substance is very, very important component of your drug substance is very important component. If you change your drug supplier, you need to inform the FDA ahead of time. Take permission, PAS, pre-approval supplement, then you can change your drug substance supplier. And if there are any problems with your drug substance, more impurities, you have to throw away that lot. You cannot use it. That's what the manufacturer does. If there are any issues with the drug substance, if there are any issues with your lot, if there are more impurities, they have to discard it. Question: suppose if the drug substance makes 3 different lots to register with FDA, to register for 3 different lots. So if one of the lot is a problem, then they can manufacture the 4th lot, discarding the 3rd lot, but you have to give explanation why you discarded 3rd lot. Let's go to product section. Drug product. All this information. So you got your drug substance from a different country. Now comes your formulation. So I will give this 5 minutes, 10 minutes to brother who is there in line. Abdul Wahab, are you there?
Yes, Brother Moise. Sorry.
Yeah. So can you unmute brother Sajid?
Yes, I can do that. Yeah, just give me 1 second.
Brother Sajid, I would appreciate if you can talk a little bit about what you guys do in formulation and what you guys do with excipients and what you do with drug substance. That will be great if you can share a little bit information with all of us.
Yes, Brother
If it
Sajid,
is okay with you.
you can go ahead.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
In the formulation, first of all, we will finalize the API by taking so many trials, and once the RS content and stability is okay, we will first of all we will try the API by different vendors by taking 2-3 lots of different vendors, and we will go for the trials, and we will analyze it for the assay, RS and stability. Once after analyzing all these things, whenever whichever the good batch we will found, then we will select that vendor, and we will proceed for that formulation. And we have to do the stability studies, pre-formulation studies for that also.
And how about
Yeah, please
I'm
go
sorry,
ahead.
go ahead. Yeah. So, for example, like your supplier is from a different country. Now, do you have like what is exactly formulation means? What do you guys do? Like you add API with other excipients to it, then it becomes your drug product.
No, actually, we will study the physicochemical properties of the API, and we will, if we will go for the generic drugs, we will find out so many excipients on the research RLD products. So from that we will get some information of excipients, what they have used in that formulation, and we have taken the same formulation and we have tried with our previous experience by using the different excipients. And there are so many methods for the tablet formulations. We will try by seeing the pill which is given by the RLD reference drug product, which have the which have their research molecule. From there we will collect information, and from excipients also we will select so many excipients and we will try for that. And before taking the trials, we will do the compatibility studies for that API and excipients. We will take some different ratio of all excipients which is used in the, for example, for the tablet we will use the diluent binders, anti-friction materials, and all these with different quantities we will blend it, and we will keep for the stability studies, and simultaneously we will proceed for the trials also. Once after 1 month and 2 months we will get back that samples and we will analyze for that.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Brother Sajid. Yeah.
Yes. This is the simple
formulation.
Yeah.
Any questions, guys, from the other team? If you have any questions for Brother Sajid, you're welcome. So that was really good, Brother Sajid. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Brother Sajid. Thank you very much.
So, Brother Sajid worked in formulation, as I told you, like for so many years, and so he has a lot of 10 years of experience, more than that. So that's the reason he wants to get into regulatory affairs. Maybe in future we will see him as a director or manager. Maybe we will work for him as well. I'm hoping good for that guy. So when we are talking about a drug product, so we get the manufacturing lot, we get the API from the supplier. Now company decides what product they want to make. company can has a secret formula. They want to make drug tablet out of it. They can make a capsule out of it. They can make an injectable out of it, or they can make a paste, or they can make a topical ointment or topical patch like a bandage. Now the drugs are coming in the form of a patches, like a topical patches, skin patches. In my previous company, they were doing a test on a patch for sedatives, so which is good for after operation. You don't have to put IV on your body, so a patch is enough for a couple of days. So this is what it is. So every company has their own formula, their own strategy to produce that drug in the market. Again, if you see the first section here, or if you see the 32P1, if you see, read it out, description and composition of the drug product. So who will provide this information to you? Your company, quality control people, manufacturing unit will provide you this information. What is your drug combination, and how much is the quantity per capsule, per vial, or whatever it is. They will give you the formulation basically. They will give you the answer. All you have to do is take that information, put it in a tablet form. Question: if brother Syed tells me like, hey, I don't know, I never did this section before, I will tell you no problem. Go to one example of 32P1, see another drug, take out that template, take out that section, understand it. If you understand it, then you can work on your section. That's easy. If you see one more example or two example or three example, it is easy to do your work. So no hesitation. No one will ask you like, why are you looking into that? Why are you cheating? It's not like that. You can see as a reference example. Second example is pharmaceutical development. So again, this is like a small section, like how your pharmaceutical, what kind of development you guys. So I don't think so we have much information on 32P2. But if there are any sections, you can again check your previous example, try to do what exactly they want to do. Go for 32P3, manufacturer. Who is your manufacturer? If my manufacturer is in California, Sacramento, I'll put my manufacturer name, his address, his details, his contact number, his email address. That's all I'll be providing in 32P3 manufacturer section. In SPL, in the first class we talked about SPL. We also provide that we have to update this one. Who is the manufacturer? What is the point of contact? Second section is 32P32 batch formula. What is the batch formula for one batch? What ingredients goes in? What ingredients goes in? Like your batch formula can be what components goes in. So this information is also provided to you guys by the manufacturer, quality control people who works with you. All you have to do is put in a section format. As I told you, regulatory affairs person don't do by itself. Since you are a science guy, science person, we have to understand what is coming in and what information has to be provided to FDA, right? That's what a science can understand by reading and understanding what exactly they are doing with the drug. If you talk about this section 32P33, description of manufacturing process and process control. This is the section they will provide you the information to you. You can put it in the format like R&D people or quality control people will provide the section to you. Take that section, put it in the company template and read it by yourself also. Try to understand whatever you are writing, whatever technical authoring you are doing should make sense. And they will also provide you the flow chart, starting material, what is the end material, everything they will provide to you, so you don't have to worry, guys. Even the same quality control and critical steps, process validation and evaluation, it's a 1-page, 2-page section. All this information is provided to you. You don't have to create by yourself. Excipients. Along with the drug, different excipient codes. For example, I can give you, suppose if you are making a mutton curry, for example, mutton is your API and whatever the ingredients goes with it to make it more tastier is your excipient. Your drug active molecule will be one, but surrounding that excipients are added to make the drug more feasible to your body, more adaptable to your body, or more functional to your body, you can say, or like a taste. So many things I can specify on. But excipients are the ones which are mixed with your drug active ingredient based upon different how you want to take that drug. It can be orally, it can be injectable, or it can be IV. Based upon how you want to take the drug, those excipients are decided. As Brother Sajid was saying, they will analyze different excipients, then they will come to a conclusion that this is the right excipient. He was also talking about one example of copying a drug. Put it in a simple word. If the drug is already in a market from 50 years, if Brother Sajid want to decide that formula, he will take the drug. He will take the excipients of that drug. What he will come out is, he will come out with his own innovation. He will come out with his own formula. Instead of using that excipient, I want to use this excipient. Instead of going that route of manufacturing, I want to go this route of manufacturing to make the drug more cheaper, lesser. But he will also make sure the quality of the drug, the efficacy of the drug, and the strength of the drug does not change. So he will just copy that original drug, come out with his own formulation. He will do different trials. End of the day, he will find this is the best excipient or different excipients I can use to make that drug product. So all that information about excipients goes here. Excipients goes here. If there are any change in excipient, if you change any excipient, you have to inform to FDA. This is what it is. Sometimes novel excipients is a one-page section. Sometimes, and the second question is excipients of human or animal origin. Sometimes this section goes empty. Like for example, let's talk about these two sections. 32P 4.5, 32P 4.6. You are saying that your drug has no animal or human content. That section, just one line is enough for this section. Second one, 32P 4.6. There are no novel excipients. That's it. Your section is done. Only one line answer. P1, P2, P3, P4, P6 are all informational given by formulation department. Thank you so much. So this information is already given to you by formulation department, so we don't have to worry. Like P1, P2, P3, P4, and P6 information is already given. So whatever the information is given to you, put it in the section. If you don't know how to do it, see the example. In the interview, will they ask you these questions? No. No one will ask you about these questions. Why they don't ask you? Every company has its own confidential information. They cannot ask you what is the batch formula of your previous company. They cannot ask you what is the excipients of your previous company. No one will ask you about your previous company confidential information, and you are also not supposed to share your one company confidential information with other company. So this is good. So for example, if Brother Sajid is working, it's easy for him a piece of cake to understand any document. Why? Because he's already, since it doesn't mean we cannot do it. Hopefully we'll do it. And Brother Sajid is also there for our help in the middle too. If you want to get in contact with him, I'll try to provide his number as well. Even Brother Sajid also can share your phone number in the chat room if other brothers want to talk more about this formulation and understand more about it. So let's go to control of drug product. Specification. Again, a question comes. What is 32P 5.1? This is about drug product specification. What tests they have done? What is the acceptable criteria? And what are the results? All this information has to be provided in the table form, which I showed you, for example, here. For example, in this case, if you see what is the assay method, the range should be, the acceptable criteria should be 9.50, 95.0 to 100%. Weight by weight. Relative drugs, related substances should not be NMT, not more than 0.5. Total impurity should be not more than 2%. All this information has to be done as under specification of drug product. No, not this one. So this specification goes. Again, this also provided by analytical folks, how they perform the test. All this information goes here in this, guys. You don't have to worry again. They'll provide you the information. Same case, characteristics of impurities, reference standards, stability data. All these questions is provided to you. So again, batch analysis, container closure, what container they are using. Suppose they may use a tube, they may use a capsule, they may use a bottle, small injectable bottle, whatever the container closure they are using to store the drug, to keep the drug, all this information is provided in this case, in this information. Any questions, guys? Since so far we are covering drug product here, all this information is provided to you. Any questions? And Brother Sajid, can you shoot your phone number as well? Maybe if someone has any questions, maybe they can talk to you or share information with you. You already did. Okay, P5 section will be, okay. What is ARD? Analytical department. Okay, analytical department will provide this information. So all this information hopefully is provided to you. You don't have to worry, guys. Sajid, can you also send the phone number? You have maybe, anyhow you are in the group, but just in case. Thank you so much. So any guys about if you have any questions to him, you can talk to him. Maybe if he's free, if he can talk to you, he can clarify more on this one. Any questions, guys, on this drug substance or drug product section? Now we know, today we learned what is USP method. Today we know what is this triangle. Today we try to cover module 3. Module 3 has 2 sections, drug substance and drug product sections. So we learned what information goes in and who provides this information to you. So this is the end of our class. Before we end up the class, maybe I can revise again before we think of going to other sections, which is module 4 and module 5 tomorrow. But before that, any questions, guys? After that, there is one more class, which is, okay, when do you want this class to be? Again, Monday through Friday, I'm open after 5 Central Time, after 6 any time, Central Time. Central Time after 6 any time, I'm okay till 9 o'clock. From 6 to 9, I'm okay. Anytime you can decide, or we can just post it on next Saturday and Sunday. Whichever is okay with you. Shoot your opinions, send your opinions. Since we already created a regulatory affairs group, we can do voting there. We can talk, we can discuss when you want this class to be. Next class. From where we get CTD modules. Just Google it. CTD modules, Google it. Brother Wahab, are you there? I think this is
Yes,
the Google group.
if you can scroll. Yeah.
So we have a Google group. Join that group, inshallah. In that way, we can be connected, all of us, till we find a job. I'm always there. And in that Google group, let us decide if you want this class to be Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, or if you want next Saturday or Sunday. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. should be good to you. Then I'm also okay. As I told you, 6 to 9 Central Time I can do, and we can end up this class by Wednesday at the maximum. We can end up this class by Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, within 3 days or 2 days. We can finish this class. Otherwise, if you want to wait for Saturday and Sunday, still I'm okay. So throw your opinions. Or maybe in WhatsApp group, maybe you can share. So, Brother Wahab, we have a question. How to save first section? section.
Brother Sajid, are you talking about the first class recording? I don't think we have an option which you can save the recording, but I will check on that one. Probably you can always you can always watch online, and it's accessible. But how to download it, I'm not sure about that. Brother Ilyas, okay, you can watch online in the link provided. Yeah, so I don't think we have an option to download it, but you can watch it as many times you want. It's online, so no problem with that. How to access it? Yes, there's a link which we posted earlier. Let me just do it. Yes, so no, I'm sorry. So if you scroll up, there's a link which we have posted, and that will take you to the recording. Sorry, my clipboard has something else, so please discard this message. But if you scroll up, you should see the link for the WhatsApp group and also for the yesterday's recording. Alhamdulillah, today's video is also recorded. It should be uploaded pretty soon, and then we can provide you with the link for today's class as well. Yes, so Brother Moise, when we wanted to do the next session, is the weekdays okay for all of you, or next weekend would be fine? You can type your your opinion in the chat, and then depending upon the majority, whenever all of us are available, probably we can conduct the next session at that time. Yesterday's question and answer. Brother Sajid, are you talking about the chat, yesterday's chat? Well, if it's a recording, it should be there in the video itself, but I'm not sure if we have the chat messages recorded. But I will check on that, Brother Sajid. I will check on that. Okay, no chat messages are saved. We do not have any chat messages saved. That's why we try to do Q&A over the voice, so that it is recorded in the session. So you should find most of the stuff within the recording.
For interview questions, for introduction, you can go on regulatory one, Google it, regulatory. Excuse me, my typo. So regulatory one, and you should find regulatory one question and answers. So that will help you.
Okay. So, Brother Moise, I think the participants, they're okay with, probably on the weekday or weekend. If we could do it on the weekend, we may have more people because we on the weekend most of us are available. So,
Okay.
I would suggest that if everybody wants it tomorrow, we can do it. If if everybody's okay, we can schedule it on the weekend as well, the next weekend.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. So, brothers and sisters, if you can type in when would you want the session to be, weekdays or a weekend, please type in the chat so that it will be helpful for us to decide.
Yes, brother. Now this ends the section. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Brother Abdul and Brother Shahid, for responding. I think weekend looks better, Brother Moise. What do you think? We also wanted to know your availability. Are you available on the weekend?
Yeah, well, let's do on weekend then. Saturday and Sunday, hopefully.
All right, sounds good. So inshallah, the link to join, it will be the same. We will also send you a reminder before next Saturday, so that you can be prepared and you can join, inshallah. What time do you suggest, Brother Moise? Is it 10 a.m. CST, 9 a.m. CST? What do you think? Because yesterday we did it at 10 a.m. CST, and today we did it at 9 a.m. CST. Which one is more comfortable?
I'm okay with both. Put it as 10 for right now.
Okay, we'll do 10 a.m. CST, inshallah. All right, sounds good. If anybody has any questions, you can type it in now. If not, then we can conclude the session. All right. Before we conclude, Brother Moise, do you want to say something?
No, I'm good. Meanwhile, they can just prepare themselves and look for jobs and try to read more about regulatory affairs.
Yes, that's a very good point. If you have any questions, please get connected with the WhatsApp group. Do not feel shy. No question is a small question, and this is how we can communicate with each other, establish a network, and then help each other in getting a job. So we have Brother Moise with us. Alhamdulillah, he's giving us a lot of time, and he's very accessible with the WhatsApp group. So take advantage of that. And obviously, we need some hard work to get a job in any field. And this is the time when you have your resources available and the guidance is available. All we need to do is just take out some time from our busy schedule and work hard to achieve this position. So be in touch, take advantage of this knowledge from Brother Moise, and inshallah, with the help of Allah, we can definitely secure a job in this field. So Jazakallah khairan for your participation, Brother Moise. Thank you so much again for taking out time and guiding us all. Thank you so much once again, and then inshallah we will meet next weekend. Let me conclude it with a dua. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. جزاك الله خيرا. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.